Good morning, Facebook friends. Helen Arcantu here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. So happy to have some time with you today on this Friday. I know it's been a long week. We've brought so much to you through our Facebook Live show this week and our press conference. But we are ending the week with some very important information. So I'm glad that you're here to join us. And I also encourage you to share this video with people in your life because it could really save somebody. And with that, I want to make sure that you know, and I know we talk about it a lot on YWTV, but just to reinforce that YWCA of Northern New Jersey is the home of healingSPACE, which is New Jersey's Bergen County state designated sexual violence resource center. And our program offers 24/7 crisis intervention counseling, which is easily accessible through our hotline, which is 201-487-2227. And that hotline is staffed 24/7 by confidential sexual violence advocates. And we will make sure that the phone number is in the comments here for you as well. But we also offer one-to-one counseling, facilitated support groups, accompaniments for survivors through medical, legal, and other proceedings that they may need to do as a result of being survivors of sexual violence. We also in healingSPACE offer creative therapy classes and job readiness workshops that are available to anyone who has been impacted by sexual violence. And that's whether it happened recently or years ago. We know that it's a process to heal survivors and to empower survivors. And our very dedicated and skilled team are waiting to do that for any of the survivors in our community. But with that, you know, as has it, technology has allowed for us sometimes to be able to do our work a little bit differently. And as some of you might remember, back in, I want to say around 2016, we launched an app for healingSPACE. And it was a great opportunity for us to be able to get information about our program and about services and about ways that survivors can connect or individuals trying to get help for loved ones or people in their life who need information about sexual violence, connect easily and quickly right from the device that most of us are usually keeping very close. But our app, I'm very happy to say, has evolved even further with the times, and that's what we're here to talk about today. And so I'm so grateful to have with us our healingSPACE director, Saimaza Sadak, and our hotline advocate coordinator, Summer McSpirit, to talk to us about our healingSPACE app, as well as the new features to it and how to download it and how to use it. So we're so grateful to have you both here. Thank you for coming. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. We're excited to be here.
Well, I know we have a lot of important information to share. And before we talk about all the new features of the app, can you, Saimaza, tell us a little bit about why it was important for us to have an app in the first place for survivors?
So the 21st century, right? We're in the 21st century. We're adding a modern twist to accessibility, right? So youth, college-age students are able to text in, people in a whole variety of settings, right? If you're in a corporate setting or you're at work, you may not be able to call in, right? Or you're going through something and you need support. You just go on you can either go on the website and click chat with advocate and speak with somebody. You can use your phone through the app and chat with someone. I think it's important, again, because it's so accessible for folks. So that's why it's important that we have it. And from what I know, we're the only sexual violence program in New Jersey that has launched this, right? So kind of being at the forefront of this is really something exciting for us.
It is very exciting, and we are the first in the state. And I do want to just give a shout out to Assemblywoman Huddle, because she and I were the ones strolling on the campus of Ramapo College where we kind of came up with the idea to do this. And I also have to give a shout out to the foundation, because they provided the funding over the years to help us develop the app and get it operational way back in 2016, and have been very supported along with some of our other funders as we've evolved it. So it is very exciting that we have, this new technology over the last few years to be able to share with survivors. And I also want to say, I mean, it did come from a stroll on a college campus in terms of being able to, get to more individuals that needed information. But the reality of it is, it's now been downloaded and accessible and used by everyone of all ages, because the reality of it is, we all really rely on our phones and our apps to do, everything from, remind us to take the bread out of the oven to finding the coupons we want for our grocery stores and doing our Instacart orders. So we do it all on our phones, and it's wonderful now that everyone can access this app as well. So with that, Summer, we know that this app is easily accessible to anyone, doesn't matter what platform you're on. Can you talk to us a little bit? And I know we've got some great bells and whistles and graphics to show us how we can actually download the app.
Absolutely. So it's really great because you can access the app from the App Store, whether you are using an iPhone or an Android. So here we're showing this downloading the app through the App Store on an iPhone. So you can just do the equivalent on an Android if you're an Android user, but you would just search for the healingSPACE app. You can download it for free. And as soon as it's on your phone, you are able to chat with an advocate. So you can see here from the very first page that you have the option to chat with an advocate or call into our hotline. The number is plastered everywhere. So in case you get disconnected or something like that, you can always just quickly call and talk to somebody. There's also an option, it says get help here. So you can see a little bit more information about like the sexual assault response team, how you would go on and start an accompaniment. We have resources for survivors here. So it's really great because the app isn't just about the texting feature too. There are so many resources that are available to people if they maybe don't even feel comfortable talking to somebody. Here we have our healingSPACE events that are upcoming, so you can stay up to date on what we have going on. You can see information about becoming a volunteer here, including some free requirements. And there's plenty of information about healingSPACE and the services that we offer. So again, even if you don't want to necessarily chat with somebody, you can still utilize the app just to learn about all of the services that we have to offer and what's available to you as a survivor in Bergen County.
That's awesome. And thank you for walking us through that. It makes it very simple and easy to access. And what I love about this is that there was a time when we did launch healingSPACE many moons ago, possibly before Summer was born, a long time ago. The telephone felt confidential back then, because face to face then was was a little jarring for some, and the telephone and making a phone call felt confidential. But in this day and age where we are today, we've evolved that sometimes picking up the phone doesn't, you want to feel like you have even more anonymity than that. And having this option really does give, hopefully survivors, until they're feeling more comfortable, that level of ability to take the risk and reach out for help. And wonderfully and gratefully on our end that we've got such an amazing team to be on the other end of that outreach to be able to support them. So we love that. So let's talk about how are we getting the word out about the app and making sure that it gets out to our most vulnerable populations and the folks that need it most.
So I know that we're planning a marketing campaign right now around awareness, which is going to include social media posts and e-blasts. So this is going to go out to community partners, college campuses, police and hospitals, and this is going to really showcase the services that we have and that we offer and the functions of the app. So we're also continuing our outreach efforts, trying to especially reach high-risk populations with our services and with our prevention efforts. So it's really exciting. We're definitely looking to expand and make sure that the people that we want to utilize this app know that it's available to them.
That's amazing. And thinking about it for a moment here, again, whether you're a survivor or whether you're someone who just wants to be able to have this information on your phone to support somebody in your life, again, easily downloadable. For those of you watching, you can see in the comments, we're adding the link so that you can go right to the Apple Store or right to the Android store and download the app. Again, it is free. There's no charge for the app, and you can easily put it on your phone. There is not much customized on it, but there's a customizable feature on it. Is that right? Is there a feature on there where you can put some key information in, or it's just a matter of pulling information out of it?
For the most part, pulling information out of it. The only information that you have to provide in order to utilize the app is just a screen name.
Got it. Okay. And that way, if you decide to chat with someone from the hotline, that they have an ability to have a name to go back and forth with for that purpose. Great. So, folks, please, take note. We do encourage everyone to download it and put it on their phones. Unfortunately, because of the statistics that we know about sexual violence, it's likely that, someone in your life will be impacted and that you will need access to some of the information that you can, easily get to through the app. So we do encourage folks to download it and keep it, somewhere on your phone. Saimaza, can you tell us a little bit? I mean, I know there's, it's COVID times. It might be, people, we have gone, virtual as an organization in so many ways, although we still do have, we're there for all of our clients and haven't missed a beat. Can you talk a little bit about that and how we have kept everything seamless and supportive during this time? So when someone does start engaging with us through the app, how they, where they can go from there and how we can support them?
Yes, absolutely. So we have not had a stop in any of our services. We have gone through from the start of the pandemic, the height of the pandemic. We're still in the pandemic. And so we're still here for survivors. We're still here providing prevention education to communities, schools, organizations. Our therapists, our clinical team is still working one-on-one with their counseling sessions on a HIPAA compliant Zoom platform. Our creative arts classes, although remote, are still running. Our coffee houses that happen once a month with our therapists are running as well. What happens is when someone engages with us in the app, if they want to get services, we have an intake coordinator where we can then transfer them over to, we get their information, we connect them to this person, and then they can utilize many other services that we have. So we have not stopped. We don't plan on stopping. We just plan on keep going and strengthening the work that we're already doing. So everything is still moving. We're also providing virtual accompaniments while we're not physically going into the prosecutor's office or the hospitals or court proceedings or appointments that survivors are having to engage with. We are still providing that service virtually. So we could be on the phone, we could be on Zoom, WebEx, some form, FaceTime. We figured it out, right? And we're doing it. So anyone that's out there that needs to be, needs accompaniment, don't hesitate to contact us because we still are providing that level of service and comfort for you all.
And I know we're all eager for a time where it's safe to be together again in person and being able to provide the support in person. But under the guidance of the Attorney General's office and our close relationship with the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, we have been able to provide all the support needed, as Saimaz has just shared, for our survivors. And we've been grateful that, to our team for their ability to jump in and learn a lot of new technology and processes to be able to support our clients as we need to. Summer, can you tell us a little bit, even, for those who maybe still want to use the telephone to make a call, can you tell them a little bit about that hotline process and what happens when you make a phone call and how you connect to an advocate?
Yeah, so when you call the hotline, you are put in touch with a call center who is then going to send your phone number and a name that you provide to an advocate. So you will get a call back within 10 minutes from an advocate who's ready to support you through emotional crises, to give you information about resources, walk you through if you have questions about the legal process or, what a SART activation looks like. All of these things are, things that you can talk through an advocate with. If you don't want to provide a name, it doesn't have to be the name that you use every day. You can be anybody that you want when you call. But if you prefer not to share your name or your number, you can also be patched through directly to an advocate. So in that way, you can really have that sense of anonymity if you need it.
That's great. Although we talk a lot about survivors using the hotline and using the chat, and I know we've mentioned it a little bit, but Saimaza, can you also talk about how loved ones and someone who just wants to get information to be able to help support someone in their life who maybe is a survivor, how they can utilize both the app as well as the hotline and our services?
Absolutely. We know when sexual violence occurs, it doesn't just affect the person that's been assaulted, or it impacts everyone around them. And the one thing that we do is, while we support survivors, we do also support loved ones. So if you're a parent, or if you are a spouse, if you are a sibling, a friend, and you have someone close to you or someone that you know that has experienced sexual violence, and you feel triggered, you can connect with the app, you can connect with the hotline phone call, and we have trained crisis confidential sexual violence advocates that can work with you and talk with you, because there is a healing process that you also, as a loved one, have to go through, and we are here to support you in that as well.
Thank you for sharing that. And again, we just want to reiterate too and reinforce for those watching who may not be familiar with healingSPACE, we are here for every survivor of sexual violence. Whatever, we are from a perspective of service, genderless. Anyone who needs the service should just call us, and we are here for you. And in whatever environment someone has experienced sexual violence as well, we are also here for you. So please keep that in mind. And again, for those of you that are watching that are, might be dealing with a loved one who's going through this, or suspect or concerned that someone has been through an experience like this, we can help coach you and give you some information to be able to share with them to support them as well. Ladies, anything else you want to share about the program itself before we move on?
Yeah, I'd like to add, oftentimes I hear folks talk about, this happened to me several years ago, right? This is not new. I can't go get a forensic exam done, but it's not, whether it happened a minute ago, 5 minutes ago, 6 years ago, 16 years ago, there's still a healing process, and there's still a journey that you have to go on. And we are here to be a part of that and help guide you through that. So this misconception that you can't, that has to happen within a time frame, we're here to support you regardless of when it happened.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And, I think especially, over the last few weeks, we've seen, in the media and the press, so many high profile people coming out and sharing their stories. Many of the stories that they've shared are exactly what you're talking about, Saimaza, situations that didn't happen presently, but happened some time ago, but they're just now feeling comfortable sharing and talking about them. And so, we hope that we, applaud all survivors, who are dealing with the experience when they, just to be able to, embrace getting some support. We know that that's a very big step. And, being able to take that step to publicly talk about it, we appreciate that as well. And, understand and empathize with that takes, because it does help others find their voice by seeing that. But it also can be very triggering to hear the stories. I know for myself, I've been following closely, one of the stories I've been following closely is all the kind of ripple effect stories that have come out from about Marilyn Manson, recently, and all the individuals that are coming forward and sharing their stories. And as you read the different, what people are sharing, it's graphic and it's intense. And it definitely can lead individuals who have had the experience, for sure. Even if you've been through counseling for it at some point and felt like you put it to bed, it can definitely be triggering and make someone feel like they need additional support. So as Saimaza and Summer have, both shared, we're here for you at healingSPACE, no matter where you are and no matter what has brought it up for you. And, we're here to support you. We have a very strong, a clinically savvy, well-trained, and very, very committed team I'm very proud of. And they're here to serve you, as well as all of our amazing confidential sexual violence advocates. And let me just share that opportunity of being a confidential sexual violence advocate. Summer, do you want to talk a little bit about that? It is a volunteer opportunity for many people that get involved. Can you tell if anyone who's watching might be interested in exploring getting involved with healingSPACE and volunteering in that way, what that entails, and what it would be to do, and how they would get involved in doing it?
Absolutely. So we do have a few kind of pre-requirements that we ask of our volunteers. Excuse me. So those are also available on the app if you want to look through and kind of get an idea of what we're looking for. Due to the really tough nature of this work, we ask that our volunteers are 18 and older. We ask that they have transportation to the hospitals and that they live within an hour's drive of the hospitals that we serve, so that we can really ensure a quick response when survivors need us to be there. So really, in order to become an advocate, you would reach out to myself. We have a little interview. I get to know you and, chat and make sure that this work is good for you. It seems like a good fit. And we have a 48-hour training process right now. So this is a little bit different from some other organizations. The state mandated training is 40 hours, but at healingSPACE, we recently added 8 hours so that we can add training in for this app and also for healingSPACE specific services. So we can make sure that our advocates really have the best understanding of the services that we offer. They really get to hear from some other staff members. You learn about things like human trafficking and exploitation. And, we have a great presentation on specifically the male population and survivorship. So it's a really all-encompassing program. You learn so much. I am always amazed when I run the program and I get to see how people are really transformed from, maybe having a background in advocacy, maybe having absolutely no idea what sexual violence looks like or how to define it, and they walk out with a world full of knowledge and the ability to really be there for not only survivors that we work with, but survivors in their own lives. So it's a really awesome opportunity.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And for those of you that are interested, we also put in the links here for you how you can access volunteering and getting us your information if that's something that's interesting to you and that you want to learn more about and talk with your team before you sign up for the next training class. And I know we're getting ready to graduate a training class very shortly. We're in the midst of, I guess probably midway right now, of a training. And we're always so appreciative of our volunteers. They really are a cornerstone of the service that we provide to the community. And I always say it's not the volunteer light opportunity for sure, but it's definitely a volunteer opportunity that that you are being a lifeline for somebody, and it's very, very impactful and empowering to be able to provide that level of support. So with that, folks watching, I also want to share, although this is our work, every day of the year at healingSPACE, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and that is a time where we do highlight our work and provide some different programs. But the reality of it is there's something happening at healingSPACE for survivors very regularly. Our Creative Arts program has monthly coffee houses and opportunities to use the arts to be able to help move through the trauma that a survivor has experienced. As I shared at the beginning of the broadcast, we also have a program to support the employment challenges that survivors sometimes, endure because of the trauma that they're managing. And so that's accessible. We have a legal advocacy program as well to be able to support some of the other challenges that pop up in a survivor's life. we have so many resources and a great team, as I've shared, at our healingSPACE, easily accessible through the phone number, again, 201-487-2227, or by going to our website, or again, by downloading our app. And I am going to ask that we show the video one more time about how to download the app, in case I know we've had some, anyone who joined us now, if we could just put the video up one more time. And Summer, I know it's just a few seconds to do. I know our video person's probably scrambling now because there we go. Good. Thank you. But Summer, just once again, talk us through downloading it from the App Store.
So you can go ahead and just search for healingSPACE when you open up either the App Store on your iPhone or your Android. And from there, once it's downloaded, you can go in and open it up, and you can choose to either chat with an advocate online, you can browse through all of the resources that we offer, or you can access our phone number and connect with somebody over the phone too.
Great, thank you. And the magic of YWTV that lets videos appear like that, and I should say the magician of YWTV that makes that happen. So again, please, folks, the links, whether you're an Android user or an Apple user, are in our comments. We do encourage you to share this broadcast with people in your life. Again, you never know when someone might have had the experience that and would like to engage and look and learn about services, and this is a wonderful way for them to do that in a in a very confidential way, but very comprehensive information right at their fingertips. So I thank everyone, for joining us today. Saimaza and Summer, thank you so much for presenting such important information, and grateful to you and the entire team at healingSPACE for the work that you do. And stay tuned for our viewers, because we will be talking about Sexual Assault Awareness Month shortly, and bringing you some more information and focused programming. But if you follow YWCA Northern New Jersey's healingSPACE on Facebook, or follow our YWCA Northern New Jersey Instagram page, you will see postings about the healingSPACE programming that's available, and we do encourage survivors to reach out and to utilize it. All of our programming at healingSPACE is free, and as I always say, if you have a heart problem, you want to call a cardiologist. If your toilet isn't working, you want to call a plumber. If you have been impacted by sexual violence, you want to reach out to a program like healingSPACE that specializes in this work. And if anyone is watching, lives somewhere else in New Jersey and not in Bergen County, or somewhere else in the country, please still call our hotline, and we will hook you up to the services in your community. So please make that note. And it's Friday, but we have a lot of great stuff coming up for the community. I just want to make sure that we mark your calendars. On February 26th, our girls programming at the YWCA of Northern New Jersey is offering the Color Complex, a wonderful opportunity for girls 15 to 20 to come together and talk about colorism in our communities, and learn about perceptions, beliefs, values, about skin, hair texture, and features, and how they can influence our behavior and attitudes towards others. And it is for girls in that age group, and girls, we're looking for a diverse group of girls to come together. It's an important conversation, and so wonderful that we have the Color Complex, an amazing organization, coming to lead that for us. We want you to also keep watching. Very soon we'll be sharing the dates for our Women's Leadership Conference, just because we are still living a little virtually in this time. We are not stepping away from the opportunity to lift the women in our community. We have 4 amazing women coming together to share stories, and we know through sharing those stories, we inspire and lift and create hope and creativity and opportunities for those watching. So we encourage you to keep watch throughout March. Each week we will be sharing one of these conversations and ending the month with a networking event. So looking forward to having you with us for that. And we wish everyone a safe, happy weekend, and may you be surrounded by love all the time. And I know that this is a weekend where there's a lot of talk about that, but self-love is where it all needs to start. And we encourage you to focus there. And thank you again to our amazing Healing Space team for joining us today. Be well, everyone.